Gosh, it worked so easy this
I
time.
know. I almost declined you. I was like,
Hey, Christy, I'm so surprised Facebook cooperated first time like a charm. Here we go. It needs to do this every time.
right.
Hey, Tim.
Hi, Christy. Hi, Tammy.
Yeah, we even hopped on just a minute early because we were like preparing for the Facebook problems. Hey, Tina. Hey, Mary.
At least it wasn't 15 minutes like last time.
Oh my gosh, last time Facebook was being such a pain, it wasn't even funny. Like the live wasn't showing up, nothing was working.
Yep.
Just pulling it up on my computer as a backup just in case the comments stop working on my phone, but right now they're working. Hey, Luna. Chrissy says, shh, don't question it. Hey, Rebecca. Wow, we got lots of people popping in, so that's
Nice.
great. Welcome to all of the people viewing on the replay. If you're catching us on the replay, we will read all of the comments. It might take us a little while to get back to the comments, but I guarantee you we're probably reading them as you comment, just like up on the notification bar. We read them all though. And yes, just comment throughout it like it's live and we'll get back to you and we hope you enjoy it. And Tina says, yes, don't jinx it. Hello, Kelly.
I know. I'm even on my Wi-Fi too. So I'm like,
There we go. So I'll go ahead and get into it because today we got a big one. So Christy, you're the last comment I'm going to catch and then I'm going to wait a little bit and then I'll catch on comments. So if I don't immediately read your comment, trust me, we're seeing it, but we have to kind of break up the comments. So Christy says, look for Imbolc every year. I'm going to learn to make Bridget's wreath or Mike called something else. Haven't done it yet. Mary says, I'm going to attempt to work out while we watch this live. Wish me luck. We are wishing you luck. So we're going to introduce the series really quickly. This is the Wheel of the Year series. We're going to be working through all 12 Sabbaths throughout 2025. We have them all planned throughout the year. Obviously, we're starting up today with Imbolc. And next up is Ostara. So that is a little bit of that. So it's going over the Imbolc basics. We have the background. What is it? When is it? Why is it even a holiday? So what is Imbolc? It is the first Sabbath of the Wheel of the Year, also known as Bridget's Day or Candlemas. And when is this Sabbath? It falls on February 1st through February 2nd in the Northern Hemisphere. To note, everything in this live will be more directed to the Northern Hemisphere, but in the Southern Hemisphere, Imbolc falls on August 1st. And then, of course, a lot of the information can be interchangeable, but throughout this series, it's going to be mostly focused on the Northern Hemisphere as to not cause any confusion for myself and Angel or for you guys.
yeah, because we talked about doing both, and I was like, but it's literally two different holidays. Like, if we were to stay within the year, so I was like, that's confusing. We'll come back.
Yeah, we'll come back. We'll circle back.
Yep. All right. And why is this a holiday? This holiday is especially sacred to the Celtic, wow, fire goddess Bridget, patron of smithing, healing, midwife. Wow. First, it is the first of the maiden. From this day to March 31st is her season.
21st.
Did I say 31st? 21st.
Yes, it's okay. I popped in.
It's her season to prepare for growth and renewal. The maiden is honored as the bride on this Sabbath. Her Bridget's, I cannot say that, so you might want to put that in the chat. Yeah. Corn dollies are created from oat and wheat straw and placed in baskets with white flowering beds. Young girls then carry the dolls, I'm not going to try to say it again, door to door, and gifts are bestowed upon the image from each household. That's kind of cool. Afterwards, at the, where am I scrolled up and lost myself. Afterwards, at the traditional feast, the older women make special acorn wands for the dollies to hold. In the morning, the ashes in the hearth are examined to see if the magic wands left marks as a good omen. Bridget's crosses are fashioned from wheat stalks, wow, and exchanged as symbols of protection and prosperity in the coming year. Home hearth fires are put out and relit, and a bensum is placed in front of the door to symbolize sweeping out the old and welcoming the new. Candles are lit and placed in each room of the house to honor the rebirth of the sun.
I'll catch up on comments for just a second. Tammy says she appreciates this so much. And Luna says, looking forward to making Bridget's Cross and the dollies. Christy says, that's it, a Bridget's Cross. We need a live on showing how to make this one. And Ronnie says, hello, beautiful ladies. Hello to you.
Hello. Absolutely. I have never made a Bridget's Cross. I feel well versed in it now after researching. Here's a little bit of history. Mentioned previously, Imbolc. There's so many different ways to say it. I always say Imbolic, but when I did Google Translate, it called it Imbolc. So I may go
I've
between
heard
the
it
two.
done both,
Yeah.
and I randomly say both.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm probably gonna do both too. It is known as St. Bridget's Day. As with all the old traditions, observances, this holiday is usually celebrated beginning at sundown on February 1st and continuing through the day of February 2nd. Embolic means in the belly of the mother because that is where seeds are beginning to stir in spring. Another name for the history is you may want to copy that one, but it's too. Oblique, meaning milk of ewes. Wow, I almost said ewes. Since it is also the traditional lambing season in the old world. Herd animals have either given birth to the first offspring of the year, or their wombs are swollen and the milk of life is flowing into their teats and udders. In the time of blessing of the seeds and consecration of agricultural tools, it marks the center of the dark half of the year, or the center point of the dark half of the year. Coven's high priestesses may wear a crown of lights, candles. I made that look because I just envisioned their hair catching on fire to symbolize the return of the goddess to her maiden aspect. Just as the sun god has reached puberty, Bridget's snake emerges from the womb of Mother Earth Mother Earth to test the weather, the origin of Groundhog Day, which is really cool how all this kind of goes together. And in many places, the first crocus flowers begin to spring forth from the frozen earth. The Christian religion adopted a number of these themes as follows. February 1st became St. Bridget's Day. February 2nd became Candlemas, the day to make and bless candles for the liturgical year. Wow, I cannot read today. The Feast of Purification of the Blessed Virgin Mary adapts the maiden goddess theme. The alternative date of February 14th, Old Candlemas, Christianized as Valentine's Day, is employed in some confidence. And then this is from a website, Pagan Holidays, and I'm actually going to put all those websites in their .com. It's wicca.com, Pagan Holiday. These websites I found when I was searching had so much information.
Yeah, since we pulled a lot of the really heavy information from certain websites, we wanted to be able to share the websites with you guys. So if you wanted to like dive a little deeper, then you can do so. Do you want me to just drop the
just drop it in as we go, and then if people lose it, I can always just I'll make a list too, but kind of nice to give it to it because all these websites had so much information too.
All right.
So on to some lore. I did try to look to find some dark lore. I couldn't. So if anybody knows any dark lore, please share it with me just because I like that side of it too. But the first one is the cradle bed of brides. In another tradition, the older women of each household made a cradle called the bed of bride. They made a figure of her from the sheaf of the oats, decorated with ribbons, shells, and crystals. The women would go to the door. Would go to the door and call softly in Gaelic, "Bridget's bed is ready," or "Bridget, come in, thy welcome is truly made." Oh, that's kind of cool. In doing so, they invoke the spirit of Bridget. She will truly be present in the figure that they have made. Then place Bridget in the bed with a straight stick beside her. The shacklet, then Bridget.
That'll be in chat.
Yeah. The one fun thing about this is everybody gets to watch me murder words. They sue over the ashes of the hearth, protecting them from drafts. In the morning would eagerly, I almost said early rise probably, eagerly examine them. They were very pleased if they found the mark of Bridget's wand, but were overjoyed if they found her actual footprint, as that proves she was truly with them that night, and they would have good fortune throughout the coming year. And then the other one we kind of talked about in the history is Groundhog Day. It's linked to the Gaelic festival of Imbolc as well, which marks the start of spring and is associated with new beginnings. Imbolc is connected to pregnancy of ewes, and dairy foods eaten on this day symbolize new beginnings.
I'm gonna pop that word in
Yeah.
chat in case anybody's wondering what it is.
Yeah, it's female sheep.
The only thing you missed in chat was Atina saw my dog sneak in. She popped her little nose in, so I just had to pop off her collar so she wasn't jingling. But what are some ways to celebrate Imbolc? Spending time in nature, caring green adventuring, filling a tiny glass with some early snowdrops, setting in some well-being goals, burning green candles, making a nourishing soup, hosting a candlelight dinner, cooking a romantic dinner, again, decorating with candles, meditation, journaling, being outside, just enjoying the lengthening of the days and the warming of the weather, doing spell work or rituals, and many, many more ways, which you'll get a bunch more ideas as we dive throughout this live. So, what are the zodiac associations with Imbolc? That would be mostly Aquarius and Pisces. And what are the deities that are associated? That would be, of course, Bridget. I'm about to butcher these names, so the list is about to just go into chat, and I'm just gonna read them also. The name of the deities is in chat, by the way, for everybody. Bridget, Chryson, Demeter, Freya, Aphrodite. Those are a couple that I can say much more with confidence. And I honestly feel really bad butchering deities' names. Makes me feel low-key bad. So I try to not say their names out loud if I can't say them. Hopefully, Atina, hopefully we're not freezing up anymore. I see on the computer I'm finally not glitching anymore, so it looks like it's fixed up now. That's why I always keep the live pulled up so I can see when it starts going bad. Missy, thanks for popping in. Hello, Elizabeth. Kelly says it's my favorite time of year to excuse spending time on broomcorn for spring cleaning and crafting. Very cool.
Yes, the glitching was my fault because I got a phone call, of course, right then. All right, here's some symbols. Bridget's cross is for protection from negativity, fire. I am actually seeing comments on my phone.
Wow, there we go.
I just looked over, I got comments now. Fire and light. How to make. Materials you need will be dry wheat stalks, brown thread. These crosses were exchanged as symbols of protection. They are easy to make and not at all time consuming. Take 8 stalks with sheaves still attached. Place 4 stalks on a flat surface with 2 sheaves on top and 2 sheaves on bottom. Measure approximately 6 inches of the stalk between the sets of sheaves and cut off excess. Tie all 4 stalks together with a brown thread and let's see, first under the top of the sheaves and then the bottom of the sheaves. Cut off excess thread. Repeat this procedure with the other 4 stalks, shortening the length between the sheaves to 4 inches. Carefully separate the first set of stalks, 2 in front, 2 in back, and slip the second set approximately 1 inch from the bottom of the top of the sheaves. Tie the thread into a knot just under the arms of the cross. Take the excess ends and diagonally wrap the thread over the opposite corresponding arm and tie the knot. Tie off the back and cut off the excess ends. Was for children. Let the children hand Bridget's crosses out to guests.
Obviously, you don't have to do that last part. Everybody, this is Gandalf. He needed to sneak up here. He's a big cuddle buddy. Except for anybody wondering who that is. And yes, he is a big fluffy baby. He's over here drooling. He does that all the time. So, what are some other symbols and some things used? Candles. I'll get more into colors later, but They're used for that spark of light, for creativity, for hope, faith, and safety. Also, fire for physical transformation, purification, passion, rebirth, warming, and disinfecting. Brews, like has been mentioned, for cleansing, fertility, and abundance. The sun for lengthening of days, warmth, light, and bringing light. Water in different types of ways, such as wells, cauldrons, or the chalice. This is for cleansing, healing, washing away, removing negativity, psychic abilities, and emotions. Others to mention, though: corn dolls, snowflakes, sun wheels, seeds, eggs, and ribbons. So, what was I talking about a minute ago with those colors? We're coming back to it now. Okay, everybody else is not freezing. So that's good. Had to put Gandalf down. He was making drool marks all over me. But colors, we have white, yellow, green, pink, light blue, gold, silver, red, black. We have an abundance. I brought examples because we didn't have a lot of things to show, and I was like, we need something.
Yeah.
So there's some big candles, and then we have, of course, little candles. So bunch of different options. Ronnie says candles, but how long do you burn them for? Well, you could do for the 2 days that Imbolc is, or you could just light one for while you're doing something to do with it. Either way, but it's up to personal preference. But it is only for 2 days, so it's not as long as some of the other ones. Different animals that are represented by Imbolc, all burrowing animals, burrowing into the ground, all groundhogs. We have sheep, lambs, swans, birds, groundhogs. I got ahead of myself. Fireflies, bears, cows, and some more. What are some, not all, but some types of foods? We have custards, puddings, cheese, creamy soups, breads, cakes, grains, honey, apples, pears, herbal teas, baked goods, winter vegetables, seeds, dried fruit, butter, milk, mutton, and more.
And then I have a recipe for you guys. This actually isn't one of my personal recipes, but it is the one that I am going to be trying. So this one is going to be garlic, herb, and baked chicken.
I'll be putting things in the chat as she's talking.
Okay, perfect. This one is by Renee Randall. Garlic, herb, and baked chicken is creamy and flavorful with a crunchy, buttery cracker topping. It's cozy, home cooked, mom's food at the finest. Prep time's about 15 minutes. Cook time's gonna be 25. Total time is gonna be 40 minutes. Yields 4 servings. And then of course it's American dinner. Ingredients you're gonna need is 12 buttery crackers, sausage Ritz, 4 teaspoons of Parmesan cheese divided, 4 ounces of garlic and herb cream cheese softened, 1/2 cup mayonnaise, and 2 to 3 boneless chicken breasts chopped into bite-sized pieces. So that's why it cooks so fast. The directions is going to be preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Lightly spray a small casserole dish with oil or nonstick spray. For those of you not in the US, it's going to be 200 degrees Celsius. In a small bowl, crush your crackers, but not too fine. So you kind of want them a little chunky. Texture is good here. Stir in 2 tablespoons of the grated Parmesan in a separate larger bowl. Mix together the cream cheese, the mayonnaise, and the remaining 2 tablespoons of Parmesan. Add your chicken pieces to the cream cheese mixture and stir until evenly combined. Transfer the chicken and cream cheese to your casserole dish. Sprinkle the crusted cracker mix on top. Bake in the oven for about 25 minutes. The chicken should be cooked through. The cream cheese will be hot and bubbly. Serve hot.
And that's the website that she pulled the exact recipe from, just so you guys can check it out on your own.
And that should be a website that has a bunch of Imbolc recipes as well.
Not that you put it in your notes, not to put you on the spot either, but why did you specifically decide to go with that recipe? Like, what drew you to it?
Chicken, eggs, laying, birth, stuff like that. Because of a chicken being birth, my other one would be lamb, but lamb is so expensive that I went with the chicken. Yep. Yeah, mainly just because chickens literally are like what Bridget is, holding within and giving life. So that's why I picked the chicken.
We got some. Ronnie said Bridget has a never-ending flame. I think I read that somewhere. And then Elizabeth said yummy, and Atina said you guys are getting me hungry.
I know. I
Some
haven't even used one of my own recipes either because I'm just starting to do Wheel of the Year, so I don't trust my own recipes until I actually try them. So I won't be sharing them until after.
Till you're confident. Yes. So what are some crystals and stones that you can use for Imbolc? We have amethyst, clear quartz, moonstone, garnet, rose quartz. I always suck at saying this one. You know how to say this one?
Peridot.
Thank you. Peridot. My southern accent comes out really strong when I try to say that one. Amazonite, jasper, bloodstone, onyx, ruby, and turquoise. What are some different herbs? We have rosemary and sage for purification and protection. We have garlic for banishing negative vibes and promoting good health. We have cinnamon for love and success. It's also on the first, blow your cinnamon in your door. So we have bay, it said to enhance wisdom and provide strength. We have salt, because it's a cleanser or protector, and it's good for cooking and in cooking, and it's a balancer. Also, side note is cinnamon. Don't let cats eat cinnamon. Bad for cats. Very toxic. Don't do that. More herbs and flowers. Also, with herbs and flowers, research. There's like people can be allergic. They can be toxic to things. So definitely pay attention to that. Same thing with oils. But back to herbs and flowers, we have snowdrops, primrose. I don't know how to say that.
I don't either. I read it before I said carcass. I'm like, it's not carcass.
It's not carcass. Yeah, I always get to that. So I dropped one in the chat that like you're just gonna. It's just like a fun. Oh my gosh, why does it keep trying to tag someone on Facebook? That's so bizarre.
In the group, it's like random people. When I was making the title,
daffodil, angelica, rosemary, bay, willow, violets, chamomile, basil, bay, laurel, and
clandestine.
We both said it the same way. We probably butchered that. Wow, stop tagging random groups. I hate it when it does. Sounds like crocus.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be a good way to say it. I don't usually get it when people say it in the chat. Maybe I'm just confidently saying it right now. There you go. Yes, walk a cinnamon stick through your front door instead. There you go. Or you like launch the cinnamon stick and go pick it up right afterward. Bonnie says that sounds amazing, and she'll be making this. And thank you. Rebecca says now she wants to do some cooking. People are saying love lamb. Kelly said she was going to ask what some of the correspondences were for the ingredients for the recipe. So that was a great point. Yeah, I knew people were going to be thinking that. So I was like, let me ask.
Yeah. And I tried to put the herbs and stuff too, because I guess I'm spoiling people by telling them what everything is. This is used for this, and these.
There's some secret Easter eggs in why Angel picked that recipe to dig deep.
Literally eggs. Yeah.
The chicken was your freebie. What are some incense and oils? We have juniper, rosemary, jasmine, lavender, sandalwood, myrrh, bay, bergamot, pine, mint, and vanilla. And then what are some other decorations that are some honorable mentions, but we're not limited to? Again, we have ribbon, lace, white cloth, red fabric, wine glasses, and obviously figurines and statues.
So for the next part, we'll do one spell, take a break, and then I'll go into the other spell.
Sounds good.
All right, so we're going to go into spell work. Main spells are going to be purification, cleansing, renewal, rebirth, creative inspiration, awakening, fertility, and connecting with nature. The first one is the Imbolc ritual. The tools you'll need is a white altar cloth, green taper candle, goddess candle, a yellow god tapered candle, 13 white 4-inch stick candles, that doll that I cannot say, the Brigidoga, I don't even know. Small wooden woven basket with white flowers, pentacle candle wheel, a handful of acorns, a cauldron, snow or crushed ice, small white pillar candle, potpourri holder, tea light, bay leaves, heather flowers, cinnamon, and vanilla potpourri. This is definitely a very fire heavy spell. Probably because Bridget is a goddess of fire is why I picked this one.
Of course. I did put all of the ingredients and tools in chat. I'm not gonna put every single step in chat, but for the certain things that you're saying aloud, I will put those in chat.
Okay.
So make sure you listen closely for her directions.
Yep. And then I got this from a website, so I'll put the website and I'll actually drop this in the event as well.
Website is at the
Yeah.
bottom, so I'll throw it in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead and throw that in there. And then like for the other one, I got that from my planner, so I'll just drop that in.
Yeah, one is from Angel herself, and then one is from a website.
Yeah.
I dropped it who made it, and there's the website.
Okay, perfect. And then if you can't burn, look into LED candles. I think they're starting to make them and like every candle known to man, like color wise. So you can always use those as well if you're in a place that you can't burn, because this spell is definitely very fire heavy. All right, preparations. Sweep the area, moving into a docile direction. Outline your circle with white cord, angelica leaves. See, I bought angelica, now I know why. Place a pentacle candle wheel in the center of the altar. Place what is that? Place the light green taper goddess candle on top of the left of the altar and the yellow candle onto the right of the altar for the god candle. Put the white flowers in a basket of bedding for the bride's bed. Then place the brigidol on top of the flowers. Place the basket in front of the goddess candle to the left of the pentacle candle wheel. What is a pentacle candle wheel? Is that like the little pentacle, like candle holders I'm thinking? Okay.
Sure. My brain is
That,
on
yeah,
blank. Whenever we do the lives, my brain is on like,
that's what I think it is. Like I saw on Amazon. So
yeah, it's where you have like the, okay, there's like a couple different kinds. There's like where like there's the big pentacle, and then also where you have like the multiples where you can like move it and have like more than one pentacle. And there's also like a board where it has like a hole for each
Yeah.
pentacle. So there's like a bunch of different kinds. So it's more up to you. The one I would feel the most comfortable using is where it's a pentacle and there's like a candle holder in each spot, because then it's not moving and I don't feel like I'm gonna burn down my house.
That's
So
what I figured I would ask, because I was like, somebody's gonna ask what that is. Place acorns in front of the god candle to the right of the holder and put the holder in front center of the altar. Place the white pillar candle in the middle of the cauldron. Fill the cauldron with about 1 to 2 inches with snow or crushed ice and position on the floor in front of the altar. Put the container with potpourri where it can be reached easily. Place the rest of your tools and props according to personal preference. Bathe or shower for purification. Ground and center when ready. Put on some soothing music associated with the Sabbath and your ritual. All right, cast a circle by holding your right hand and tracing over the cord or leaves in a clockwise direction. As you trace over the outline, envision flames of pure white rising along the perimeter. When the beginning and the end joins the circle is complete. Step up to the cauldron and light the white candles, saying, amidst the darkness, the lady is stirring, gently awakened from frozen dreams. All the world has waited this moment, the return of the maiden, and her promise of oncoming spring. Call quarters, as in the time to honor Mother Earth as she awakes from her winter's recovery and given rebirth to the Sun King at Yule. Start with North, the element Earth. Pick the container of potpourri set up at the altar and pour some into the holder, saying, power of Earth, the maiden awakens. Come join the circle and share the light. Put the container back where it was. Light the white candle at the north point of the pentacle candle wheel. Continue by waving your hand over the potpourri as the center a breeze on which the carry the scent, saying, power of air, the maiden awakens. Come join the circle and share in the light. Light the white candle at the point of the pentacle, the east point of the pentacle wheel. Light the tea candle in the bottom of the potpourri holders, saying, "Powers of fire, the maiden awakens. Come join the circle and share the light. Light the white candle at the south point of the pentacle wheel. Pour some water into the holder with the potpourri, saying, 'Powers of water, the maiden awakens. Come join the circle and share the light.' Light the light candle at the west point of the pentacle candle wheel. Remove the white candle from the top point of the pentacle. Since Ashken is omnipresent, it will need not be invoked. Light the candle and invoke the goddess and the god by lighting the green goddess candle and the yellow god candle with the white candle. Place the white candle back at the top point of the pentacle circle, saying, 'Be with me now, ancients eternal. Hear how my prayers, hopes, and dreams. The goddess has awakened. Come more as the maiden by loving caresses from the strengthening of the Sun King.' Like the inner cross points of the pentacle wheel, start with the cross point to the right of the north point. Like all 5 cross points in succession, saying, 'The earth now grows warmer as the wheel begins turn, and as each passing day adds strength, the Sun King's ray, the maiden, as his gift of life, now silently does yearn.' Take a couple of acorns from the front of the god's candle and place them in the bride's bed of the Brigiga." I'm gonna say that different every time I read the name. Light the 3 aspects of the goddess candles. All aspects are white because she is the triple goddess appearing as maiden, pure and renewal. Step back from the altar and contemplate the light that is brought about by the reunion of God and goddess, saying, 'Behold, the goddess, God and goddess, Lord of the forest and his bride. Once again, the earth blessed with life anew inside. Seeds shall soon begin to sprout, and creatures shall young bear. For this is the promise, the circle of life is born of love they share.' Now the time for meditation and any spell working. Spell working associated with Imbolc includes those for fertility, defining and focusing on goals for the future, organization, health, and protection. Next, celebrate with cakes and ale, poppy seed cakes and spiced tea as well. Ceremony, saving some for the wee folks outside. Thank the god and goddess and their presence. Snuff the candles. Thank and release the quarters, saying, 'Through your leave, this though you water, fire, air, and earth, your symbols shall linger for a while, blessing my home and hearth. The herbs that scent this room tonight were chosen with love and care to bless me, my family, my friends, my sisters and brothers everywhere.' Snuff each candle in the direction points of the pentacle candle wheel, starting with the candle at the top point first, then the west point, working Witherstan direction. Snuff the inner point candles also in the Witherston's direction. Finally, snuff the 3 aspects of the goddess candles. Step back from the altar, face the cauldron with a white pillar candle still burning, brightly saying, 'I honor thee, maiden, also blessed bride, as your candle burns through the night, and thank you for renewal life you offer us all as you emerge from darkness to light.' Release the circle, clean up, place the cauldron from the floor onto the middle of the altar, let the candle burn itself out, place the potpourri in a spot where the scent and blessings fill the house. You are done. This is adopted by Ashka AP Embreeze for all her friends and those of like mine. And then that's the Wicca holiday, pagan holidays, Embolic site.
Which that is already dropping.
Yeah.
So while you're reading, the only things you missed in the chat is people are saying that you sounded very powerful and that you were on a roll. And then also Ronnie says that she doesn't follow the Sabbaths, and this is great information, but she might start. Kelly also mentioned something fabulous. I was so thankful for it. She said distal direction is clockwise in case anybody wasn't
She
sure.
was reading my mind.
There you go.
I was like,
She also added Wooden Schneier's is counterclockwise. I always mess these up, so hopefully it helps someone else. So thank you very much, Kelly, for adding that in there.
thank you for reading my mind, Kelly, because as you can tell, I didn't say what direction because I wasn't sure. I had an idea, but I wasn't sure. But I definitely got into that. Like,
Because like it was that 1 second your voice boosted. I was like, oh, she just got locked in. There we go.
yeah, yeah.
Misty said she loves this so far. Yeah, we also thought it would be really helpful rather than just dropping the website and being like, there's a ritual. If we like read through it, it could give you like sort of a vibe of it. And if you have any questions, you can throw them in the chat. And this is like a nice little challenge to, even if you're not celebrating the Sabbats, if whenever each Sabbat comes around, you just spend a little time researching, you'll just get a little bit more and more. And then maybe you'll decide this is a Sabbath I want to celebrate, or maybe be like, well, this isn't for me, but I appreciate spending this time doing a little history diving.
Yep, absolutely. Because this series actually came up because I didn't study the Savage or follow the wheel the year before, and that was my goal for this year. So Sarah and I are like, while we learn, or while Michelle learns, we're gonna go from there. I always call myself Michelle because that's what my family calls me.
Last year, my goal was for every single Sabbath to research them, and I mean, I did a little, but not like as much as I wanted to. And so my goal for this year was to lightly, as I call it, celebrate each Sabbath, which means if I'm only lighting a candle and studying about it, then that counts. But I want to do something to where I'm like engaging knowledge on each Sabbath. Because then the thought is next year I have like my confidence and my like anchor hooked into each Sabbath that I could like dive in a little more. I'll catch us up on comments and then you can dive into your personal one. So Misty says she loves this. Sherry says she totally wants to do this year. Misty also says this will be my first Imbolc where I am so confident to do a ritual. This is so beneficial. I'm so glad. For each Sabbath live we're either doing it before the Sabbath or the day of the Sabbath. And I understand if it's the day of the Sabbath, you might be like, oh, I can't use the information, but the live and just sitting and connecting while we're all talking about it is still doing something for the Sabbath. We're sitting, we're connecting, we're working on it. And then maybe later in the day, you can do a little nighttime ritual. Billy Joe said she's going to have to catch up from the beginning. And Ronnie said that was going to be my goal as well. I'll try, but the food sounds good. There we go. That's a good selling point.
Yeah, start with the food because actually last year I added on Mabon. Again, I'm messing up because we did the whip exchange, so I added that in. I've always done Solwyn and Yule, but now I'm adding all the rest. So
start with the stuff that's fun. Yeah. If it's fun, you're more likely to include it in your ritual. If it's something like in a routine, you're not going to add something in a routine that you hate. But if it's something that's fun, you're a lot more likely to add it. Okay, I'll read Luna's and I'll let you dive in. Luna says, I have my altar planned out. I'm going to do my own ritual, just not as structured. We'll honor Bridget and welcome the spring. Yeah, some people like to do a super structured. I don't do super heavy structured rituals. Maybe like once a year, once a blue moon. If I really need to like it to be like insanely powerful and insanely called in, then maybe, depending on what I'm doing. But not always. I'll go ahead and let you dive on in so you can keep rolling.
So this is actually where I got this next one from. I got it in the Wisp Exchange. So it's this planner. Tell me this is not beautiful. So I'm going to read a little bit before I get into the spell because I didn't want to, I had to type all this. So I was like, I'll just read the other stuff. So for this, it's a self-love charm. February can bring a lot of heavy baggage. Some years you feel great, and hopefully hopeful on other years you wish you could skip the love month and have a second Halloween. Instead of focusing on external validation this month, focus on self-love and self-care that will sow the seeds for all you want to bring into fruition. Of course, you can celebrate others in your life, but recognize that your relationship with you is the most important relationship you have. Reminder to self, Angel. This self-care charm combines the protective and the healing properties of witch hazel and red rose, long associated with love and passion to help amplify love self-love and acceptance. Witch hazel helps us release negative energies and emotions and provides a sense of purification and renewal. Red roses symbolize self-love, compassion, and the recognition of our own beauty and self-worth. When we infuse this charm with our intention and these plants, natural's energies, we can embark on a journey of self-discovery and inner growth. So I have a confession. When I was writing this, for some reason my brain was not accepting that it meant witch hazel as in the leaves, and I kept seeing the witch hazel that you get in the store for like astringents, and I'm like, why are they putting liquid in a bag? And I was like,
as soon as when I was reading our notes, when you first typed them up, I just glanced and I was like, what the heck?
yeah.
In a bag. It's like, that's not gonna work.
Exactly, because you think the liquid, but no, these are the leaves. So the supplies that you're gonna need are gonna be the witch hazel leaves or petals, dry or fresh, red rose, dry or fresh, a small fabric pouch or charm bag, which is why the liquid one doesn't work. I guess if you like soak the petals in the witch hazel, it would work too if you have to. Find a quiet, comfortable space where you can focus on the charm. Take a few deep breaths to ground yourself and center your energy. Hold the witch hazel in your hands and envision its protective, healing energy infusing your being. Recite the intention. With witch hazel, I release negative negativity, embrace healing. Set the witch hazel down in front of you. Hold the rose petals close to your heart, feeling their vibrant energy, filling you with self-love and acceptance. Recite the intention. With the red rose, I honor my ancestors or any deity spirit you choose. Set the rose petals down in front of you. Place a small handful of witch hazel into the pouch or bag. Then add a generous handful of rose petals. Empower the charm by holding the pouch in your hands and feeling the combined energy of witch hazel and red rose. Close your eyes, visualize warm, loving light radiating from the charm and surrounding you. Recite the affirmation: I am worthy of love and self-acceptance. Place the charm in your pocket or where it is a pendant as you go about your day. Touch it as a reminder of your self-worth and connect with your self-love energy. Whenever you need an extra boost of self-love, hold it in your hands and repeat a mantra that resonates with you, your journey in self-discovery and growth. I would even just keep saying, I am worthy of love and self-acceptance.
To catch us up on the chat a little bit, we have one of my first, Elizabeth says, one of my first rituals I officially did was Imbolc last year. That is very exciting. Ronnie says, it is powerful, just chatting here on the live about Sabbath. Mary says, I don't follow the Sabbath. I just do what feels natural season to season. I'm all out natural in spring and summer. As for food being raw vegan, I'm eating Earth's abundance in its natural raw state, appreciating the seasonal fruit. Kelly says, having my kids and including them in holidays has made me more likely to celebrate. If my kids enjoy it, I have probably have some play involved, and who doesn't like to bring out their inner child? Involving others in Sabbaths is a definite way to do it more. Mary's 40-minute workout is it was, really hyped for that. More power to you. I'm not working out for 40 minutes. I'm so glad you're doing it for the both of us. Billy Joe says, that's true, a second Halloween. And then Elizabeth says, love the idea of a second Halloween. Sherry says, we need more spooky seasons. Everybody loved that. Billy Joe said she was thinking the same thing about the liquid. Mary says, I have witch hazel and dried rose petals. Sounds like it's something to do. Billy Joe says, me too, except the liquid, but I could soak a little witch hazel onto the roses. Very true. Mary just gave us some emojis. All right, let's hop into some tarot spreads. So I have 2 tarot spreads from Google and 1 tarot spread from my noggin. I didn't even write it down. I made it specifically for this live, guys. Feel special. I was like, we need a new one, and we need something fresh. That was what I went for. So The first one that I'm going to share is from this website. I'll pop the website that I found it right in the chat. There you go. It's a four card spread. It's in like a cross shape. So one here, one here, one here, one here. So we have our bottom card one is an offering to leave to the goddess Bridget. On the left, card two is a darkness to leave behind. Top card three is a message from the goddess. And right card four is embracing the fire goddess within. I'm going to do the other one from Google before I do my own. So the other one, it's a picture. So we'll just have to drop it in the event for you guys. But it's like a pyramid. We have card one, card two, and card three, and then card four, five, and six. So 1, 2, 3. So card number one up top is seeds. What needs to be planted now? On the second tier, card two is consecration. Where are your blessings? Card three is maiden. How can the maiden goddess archetype aid you this season? On the bottom row, on the far left, four. What do you need to prepare yourself for? Card five is renewal. What is coming back to you? Card six is the bud of the flower. What signs did you look for to take action on a new product or new decision? Project, not product. And then the last tarot spread is the one that I made for you guys. So it's a 6-card spread, 3 cards on the top, 3 cards on the bottom. So card one is strength gained from the winter season. Card two is weaknesses from the winter season to remember. Card three is what to leave behind in the winter. And if you notice, the top has a theme and the bottom has a theme. So card four on the bottom is what seeds to plant / lay the foundations for spring. Card five is what are the main things to focus on for a successful spring. Card six, what roadblocks do you face before spring? I felt like that was a nice, like, rounded out, but also straightforward to follow, but could give you like a real nice looking into coming from and going to this like transitional period. So I'll drop mine in the chat for you guys. If you do the spread, totally let me know, because like I said, I just made it for you guys. I did one reading for myself with it, but other than that, I made it for you guys.
I just got a Celtic tarot too, so I may break it down with your
There you go. I honestly like really enjoy making like spreads and making different things like that for other people. I don't always use spreads for myself, but like, boy, do I like making them. Mary says, okay, tarot spreads. They've never worked for me in the past, so I've stayed away from them. I came up with my own layout that works for me. It's like an extended version of the 3-card star spread. I'd like to learn a few spreads and learn how I can get them to work. Okay, well, Mary, you're in luck. The last tarot video we just did was all about spreads, and January? No, not January. Yeah, January.
Yeah, I think
it's either January or December. I don't know which one. Now my brain just went out the window.
I think it was February.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Planning too many videos, my brain went mush. So yeah, you can learn all about spreads there. But my thing with tarot spreads, that I'll just leave really short, is if they're not a one size fit all. Different spreads fit different occasions. You can use it once, never use it again, or you can use it multiple times. But definitely check out that video if you're having a hard time with spreads. And Ronnie says that sounds like a great spread. Should definitely try it out. You can put it in the comments, or you can message me with how it goes. And Elizabeth says she looks like she's gonna have to add witch hazel to her garden. So there we go.
Yeah, or be soaking. I'm gonna be soaking, I think.
Okay, having the rose petals.
I'll be soaking up. Alright, so next I found a little poem, and again from my favorite website. I really got a lot of information from there. This is called The Maiden's Chant. It's by Ashka. Awake, sleeping maiden. Thy consort is close. He comes close, not close. Close. He comes through the woods for thee. I light you candles and pierce the darkness. Your reunion for all to see.
All right. I've got a couple others. Sherry says she can't wait to try these out. Luna says she loves reading tarot. And yep, I read that one. Okay, so let's give you guys a quick closing summary about some things from the live. So in summary, throughout this live, we learned about all things related to Imbolc, from the history, throughout many correspondences, ending at tarot spreads. The main takeaway to remember is Imbolc is all about Earth's preparation for spring, as this is a time for nourishment and setting the foundations. This is where the first births and livestock of the year are happening. It is when the seeds are placed. Another note to remember is the goddess Bridget is very heavily involved with this Sabbath. Lastly, there are many ways to get involved or celebrate the Sabbath. But the key thing to relate it all back to is nature, the earth, and maiden and motherhood. Those are the main key things. So in whatever ways you want to celebrate it, those are the things if it ties back to, you're probably in correspondence.
And then just a reminder that our next live for this series, because Sarah and I have a lot of series, will be actually month will be next month in March. Well, from February, and it's going to be Ostra.
And then we have a big thank you to everybody who watched the live. And if you watched it on replay, thank you for sticking through the entire thing. Thank you, thank you for commenting throughout the entire live. It means so much to us when we can click on and we can see. Because, like, for instance, if you're watching on the replay, we can see all of your comments and, like, the order you put them and throughout the live. So it's so nice to see you engaging throughout the entire live and shows that you're really interested and it's super nice. And it's a reminder to us that you guys appreciate it and that we should keep diving in deep to bring you guys the best information that we can.
Because I definitely have a blast looking into all this stuff. And like I said, I was looking for the dark lore and I couldn't find it. So if anybody knows of any, please let me know, just because I want to know.
If anybody has any Imbolc questions, please throw them in the chat. If not now, you can come back later and drop them in the chat. Everybody says definitely thank you for the information and that they'll need to watch on replay to get those notes. Yes, there's a lot of notes that you guys can gather. I think our notes alone were 11 pages.
Yep.
So and we took a lot of stuff out of the notes that we just like gibbered. So, yeah, definitely lots of notes. Please says our enthusiasm shines through and thank you. And everybody's saying it was a great.
Thank you.
We are so glad to have you guys throughout the entire Wheel of the Year series, and also for all the other ones that me and Angel are doing because we just really like doing lives together.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. All right. Does anybody else?
So she said she's gonna go try to find us some dark movies.
Okay, awesome. Because I could not. I tried googling like scary stories and scary myths, and I just could not find them.
For each Sabbath, we're gonna dig in. We're gonna try to find some dark lore. We can't promise it for every Sabbath, but we'll promise we'll look.
Yep, definitely.
Molly says if she finds that PBS show, she'll post it in the chat too.
Perfect. That would be awesome.
All right. Well, I think I'm all good.
I'm good too. Thank you, everybody.
Have a great night.